Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four 2005. And the reason why I chose to watch this movie is because I haven't seen it in a long time. I watched it many times when I was younger, and I decided to revisit the film and see if it was worth reviewing or not. And I think I have a decent amount to say about it, and let's talk about it. I'll start by talking about my experience with this movie. And when I was younger, I watched pretty much Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, this. I watched Terminator 1, 2, and 3. Like, those 6 were basically the go-to movies when I would, I don't know, come home from school, or if I had free time on my hands way back then, I would just watch those 6 movies all the time, or at least those 6 that stand out to me in my head right now. And those were pretty much the only movies that I really cared about watching. I didn't really care about watching anything else, and I just liked watching superhero movies or action movies. But this one is, I think, interesting because it is, while I was watching it, there are things about it that I think are good, and there are things about it that are not so good. So I guess I'll start off by saying just a couple topics of things, because when I get to each topic, there are either going to be just good things, a mixture of good and bad, and then just bad. What do I like about this movie? There are a couple performances that I really like. I like Chris Evans a lot. I think he's awesome. Michael Chiklis, I think he works great in this movie. And the other 2 members, I forget how to pronounce his name, but whoever plays Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, he was fine. And Sue Storm, played by Jessica Alba, she wasn't great, but she was trying, so I'll give her that. She wasn't the worst actor in the movie, especially compared to the villain. But we'll get into that. Oh gosh. I think the movie is pretty funny. There are some intentional jokes that I think are really good. The rest of them kind of fall flat, and the rest of my enjoyment is either from the quick pacing of the movie, because it is very well paced, it's never boring, and it's also hilariously bad at many points in the film. Before rewatching this movie for this review, there were elements of this movie that I could still remember watching it when I was younger, and those elements kind of hold up and kind of don't. I guess we'll talk about the special effects for the movie. The Thing, he looked fine. I'm not taken out of his presence. I think he looks fine. And Michael Chiklis, he does a good job. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, his effects are a mixed bag. And when I say mixed bag, it is that's when okay, so obviously you know what he does. He stretches. His body is made of rubber, basically. And the points where it looks good is when it's not his skin. I don't know what happened, but whenever it was his actual skin that was stretching, it looked really bad. Sometimes creepy. There's a scene where he's trying to unlock a door, so he sticks his hand underneath the door, and then his hand comes out and just unlocks the door. But the way the effects held up, it was really bad. It did not look good at all. But somehow, at the end of the movie, without giving anything away, when he has his suit on and his body is stretching, somehow it looks way better. And maybe it's just the skin, or I don't know why. Maybe it might be taking place at night. Either way, the effects when it's not his skin stretching, when it's like the suit or anything covering up his skin. When it's that, it looks really good. Otherwise, it looks pretty bad. When it's his skin, you get some bad scenes. It looks really bad and dated. The Invisible Woman, she looked, she worked well enough. Like some of her force fields, it didn't really look perfect all the time, but when she was invisible, it looked good. And last but not least, the Human Torch. He actually looked great. I don't know how. The rest of the Johnny Storm and Sue Storm, the effects they used for those two characters, they hold up really well. Reed Richards, for the most part, the Thing, he looks fine. But there's one other character, Dr. Doom. The effects, he looks fine. But his character, he sucked. As a villain, he's so lame. And the actor who plays him, I forgot his name. I don't think he was very good. And speaking of effects, there are special visual effects used at the beginning that I thought looked kind of dated. With like a rocket ship and, I don't know, like when they first get their powers. It didn't look great. The film just is... I don't know. Like, there's a scene in this movie where they're looking for Ben Grimm, the Thing, and they're looking for him, and he's just sitting, and there's like an entire scene on a bridge, and that entire scene was just hilarious, unintentionally. It just I don't know. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't help myself. And there are plenty of scenes in this movie that I think are very funny. And not in ways that the film was intending on it to be funny. I think there's a love story in this movie between Reed Richards and Sue Storm that didn't really work for me. I didn't think they had chemistry. And it just felt like it was wasting my time. So overall, this movie wasn't a chore to sit through. It was funny. I give it that. It's never boring. But in terms of positives, there's really not much to take away aside from like effects looking good and a couple of good performances. And I guess there's a couple shots in the movie that I kind of liked. But that's really it. Visually speaking, this movie is kind of boring to look at. And the music, I do remember basically the main theme of the movie. Those I can point out and say, I like that, and I like this, and it's not boring, and I'm entertained throughout the whole film. Unfortunately, I need a bit more than that, than just being entertained throughout the whole thing. Because there are a few things that a movie needs to do for me to say it's good. And that is, do its achievements outweigh its flaws? That's one thing I need to get over. And my other thing, the other thing that it needs to do is impress me. And this movie doesn't really have anything that impressed me. So in the end, Fantastic Four 2005, it's entertaining, but it's kind of a hollow movie with a really bad villain. Overall, there's just nothing special about this movie. And even like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, I would say they're about on the same level in terms of entertainment value, but I think Sam Raimi's Spider-Man offers more than just entertainment value. Like, the music is great, there's a great performance in it by Willem Dafoe, it has a great style, and it has a self-awareness to how stupid it is, and it's not just relying on, like, the actors and or characters being great. There's other stuff to appreciate about the movie, which is what I really love in that movie. Here, this movie entertains me, but the problem is most of it is unintentional, and there's just nothing else to say about it. It's kind of a bland superhero movie that people kind of forgot. And overall, I would say that if you haven't seen Fantastic Four, I guess check it out because it's really funny. But there's not really anything to take away from it. And also, one other thing that I will say about this movie, despite me having a lot of problems with this movie and not being all that impressed by what it offered, I'll watch it again, just because it was so funny to me. But that's all I can say about it. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give Fantastic Four 2005 a 4 out of 10. No pun intended. So there's Fantastic Four. I did talk for a long time, but there wasn't really all that much to talk about, especially since I can't get into spoilers. And also, I have seen Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, but I haven't seen that since I saw it in theaters. So I can't really comment on its quality. And the 94 one did come out? I didn't see that. Same with 2015's, the one directed by Josh Trank. Haven't seen that. This one, check it out if you want to laugh at it. Have some fun. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Fantastic Four 2005 down below. And to my social media links, those will be in the descriptions down below, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation. And I'll see you when I get my next review up. And before I let you guys go, I did get a Pulp Fiction t-shirt. I got this yesterday as of recording this, and I consider it a big missed opportunity when I didn't make my review for Pulp Fiction. Oh well. I'll wear it when I'm ranking my when I do my Quentin Tarantino ranking video, after I go through all his movies and review them. Got Inglourious Basterds to go through next, and that's not going to be up until March, because I'm doing one a month. Look forward to that. But until I get all that up, thanks for watching and have a great day.